Beards, Books, and Bourbon is a spoiler-rich environment. If you haven't read or listened to this book, then you should probably go ahead and do that, because we're going to talk about it, and we're going to say all the stuff that you don't want us to say. So go back and read it, or listen to it on audiobook, and then come back and listen to us. Thanks so much, and enjoy the show.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Beards, Books, and Bourbon. I'm Steven.
I'm Mark.
And we are here once again in the Midwestern Garage Studio of Beards, Books, and Bourbon.
We're here, we're there, we're everywhere.
We're everywhere. We are like the protons of the echo of the universe, which is what we're going to be talking about tonight.
Or maybe leprechauns?
Leprechauns?
Or, fungal spores?
Or
That's a little hint, the fungal spores thing.
Decepticons?
Or Decepticons, yes.
I want to be a Decepticon.
Do you want to be Soundwave?
No, I want it to be who was the main dude? Who was the chief?
Megatron?
Megatron.
See, I always liked Soundwave. Soundwave was my guy.
I like Soundwave.
Soundwave was he was the very first Transformer that I ever owned.
I think I owned Megatron. I'm pretty sure I did.
Yeah, well, my mother was not sure that she wanted me to have Megatron because he was a gun.
He was a gun, yes.
Yeah.
I don't remember if it was me that had Megatron or if it was my cousin who had Megatron.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, but I got Soundwave before I actually really knew what Transformers was. It was just that we saw it in the store. My grandmother was like, "Oh, dearie, would you like to have that?" And I'm like, "Yes."
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Yes.
What's that? It's a tape deck that turns into a robot that has cassette tapes that turn into robots too.
That's cool.
Yes, that's cool.
Yeah, the original Transformer, there's nothing like it. The original Transformers are nothing like it. Even the ones today, they don't have the same feel to them.
Nope.
Or something like that. But we are here. It's another kind of hot and humid night here.
It was a dark and sultry night.
This is a theme show this evening. We haven't done a theme show in a little while, actually.
We have not.
I don't think.
We have been burning through books.
We have been burning through books, but we decided this evening, just because we're in the middle of a pretty long read as of this recording here.
We are.
That we were going to do a particular theme. And this is something, well, we'll come back to it. We got our bourbon for the evening for a short
Yeah, let's get that out of the way, because I think we're going to have a hard time discussing the theme or trying to describe the theme. Okay, so tonight's bourbon is Middle West Spirits Double Cask Collection Ported Pumpernickel Rye Whiskey. That's right, folks. I said ported Pumpernickel Rye Whiskey. Rye whiskey aged in French tawny port casks, aged 5 years. White American oak casks, double barrel matured French tawny port casks. Batch number 4, blah, 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 blah. And we'll talk more about that. Oh, wait. Sorry. 99.5 proof. And we'll talk more about that later.
We will. We had a good pre-show sip.
Ooh.
It's a nice bourbon, and we will be back at it. So, here we go. Let's set this up. Okay. One night about, I don't know, like 3 or 4 days ago, maybe.
Yeah.
I sent you this I sent you a message on Instagram. Let me go through the different slides here. Right? You got to swipe to get the different pictures here. All right, here we go. This is how it opens up.
Okay.
And then we'll hop into the theory.
Okay.
The universe might have already ended. We're just living in its echo. Swipe to the next photo.
Yes.
What this theory says, we're not in the universe, we are in its memory. Some physicists believe the universe has already collapsed. What we see, the stars, the galaxies, even time, might just be residual patterns echoing through space-time. Third photo I sent you here. The name of the theory, and here's our theory, it is called, and I did research on this, conformal cyclic cosmology.
Conformal cyclic cosmology.
Posited by Nobel Prize winning physicist Roger Penrose.
Yes,
And
I know who Roger Penrose
the essential here, right, is the universe is in a repeating cycle. Each one ends in a heat death and begins again.
Right.
The premise here, though, however, is that we are in an overlap segment between the two. A ghost imprint of what just came before us, but has not started yet anew.
Now, I mean, so that makes me wonder, like, I was trying to wrap my head around this a little bit. And so you were saying, like, the quote is like, everything that we see in the stars and whatnot is just echoes of the past, which is kind of something that we already know, right?
Correct.
Right.
Because obviously,
because of
the light we see,
right, the constraints of physics and the speed of light.
Correct.
And so what it made me wonder, are they saying then that the heat death of the universe starts in the middle and spreads out? And so essentially the universe is already collapsing and coming to an end, but it has yet to reach us?
Right.
Or
has it already reached us?
Has it already reached
us?
us?
And we are in the last breath of it.
Right.
So
are we like even sentient beings, or are we just recordings of the things that used to be here?
Which would be fascinating, because if our podcast existed in another universe, that's awesome.
Right. And as it beams out into the new universe that is budding, we could be the founder of several million civilizations, Steve.
We could be. I think so.
They could be, the echoes of our voices.
I think so.
Floating through the void. Transmitting to alien life that is just being birthed, and they think that we are their podcast daddies.
Well, in this particular... We are BBB.
Who is your podcast daddy?
This is conformal.
We're your podcast daddy.
This is conformal cyclic cosmology at CCC, so it's right adjacent to the BBB.
Oh,
right? So if we go into the actual definition itself, right, it says conformal cyclic cosmology is a cosmological model in the framework of general relativity and proposed by Roger Penrose.
Uh-huh.
In CCC, the universe iterates through infinite cycles with the future time-like infinity of each previous iteration being identified with the Big Bang singularity of the next.
Oh, okay. So the Big Bang that we're aware of is actually the next universe, and we're what's left of the old...
The previous one.
The previous one.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. We are the echo.
So would that then...
Which is fascinating.
I wonder, does that help to explain things like dark energy and the reason why the universe is accelerating?
Right. So that's the thing. If you go on, and we'll continue this, but the Big Bang is followed by an infinite future expansion. And I quote, Penrose noticed that the past boundary of one copy of a particular system, space-time, can be attached to the future boundary of another after a rescaling. Now, this gets really complex, right?
Okay.
And you get into all this physics, right?
Yeah.
But the result is which Penrose takes to represent the entire universe as composed of a sequence of sectors.
No, I mean, but is it a sequence? If every subsequent universe has an infinite future,
right?
Does that then?
Then we get, and I go back.
Are we then talking about like the multi-world theory?
Well, that's what I wanted to. And we go back to some of the books that we've done. I always go back to our, the couple of books that we've done with Kovelik, right?
Yeah.
This becomes a complex series of discussions about what obeys the laws and what doesn't obey the laws of physics.
Sure.
And our ability, and you and I talked about this briefly before we did our last show. I finally, recently, very late to the game, saw Interstellar. Right?
Yeah.
And I'm not sure why I had never seen it. I just saw it this summer on my flight to France, and it was just magnificent.
Don't let me leave, Murph.
And just magnificent.
Yeah.
And there's no
There
way,
is a moment. Oh,
like I wonder if there's an answer to anything we have.
not in. I mean, according to Interstellar,
Certainly not the ways in which we can decide it on.
Yeah, not for us from our 4-dimensional perspective.
Right.
But
even beyond that, like, do we get answers? Do we ever get answers when our energy goes? Will we ever?
I don't know. I mean, we can't even decide. We can't even agree as a species whether or not there's any energy that goes in a coherent way after we have
passed,
after we have expired, after our encounter suits here in the 3-dimensional world has failed.
Well, right, and I mean the whole idea is that energy cannot be destroyed.
Right.
So when we expire,
right,
the vessel.
Well,
is
and
gone, but the energy.
That's one of the reasons why scientists often refer to all of reality as information, right?
Yeah.
Information can never be destroyed. It can be the arena in which that it exists can be moved around.
Right.
It can be energy, it can be matter, it could be an orange, it could be me, but the information is always there. It can be
anything.
It can be moved around. It can be recategorized. It can be changed.
Right.
But it's always there. Which, I mean, part of me thinks like, okay, if that's true, then, and we use the term information, and we use it in kind of a modern colloquial way. If we can learn how, and we've talked about this before, if we can learn how to read the information of the cosmos in whatever format it's in, there's a history in there that we can uncover of what things were before or what things are after.
Right.
And so the idea then, again, if we apply that to the human experience, here we are, we're living our 4-dimensional lives with time as a linear thing, and then we expire. But the information that we have collected and created, the experiences that we have had, and again, this is a big stretch, if it continues on, but in a different form, does that mean that we continue on a conscious level?
Right.
Or is it just a recording of what we have done,
right.
of what it was, for something else larger than us to then read the recording?
And what are the implications of that?
The implications of that is that I am Soundwave.
Well, you are Soundwave, and I am...
And you are Megatron.
Megatron.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Can I make that great noise as I transform up and down?
I think so. I mean, I'm at the point now where my bones make those noises.
That's right.
Naturally.
Every time I move, it makes
that's right.
Right.
Every time
I move, right. So one of the things that Penrose developed it suggests. So he termed it. It's not just cycles. It's not just universes. It's not multiverses. Right.
Yeah.
His term is aeons.
Okay.
Aeons. I'm assuming I'm pronouncing that right. Aeons. Mm-hmm. That sounds right. So it suggests an infinite series of aeons, each of which begins with the Big Bang, and then it begins with the Big Bang, ends in a smooth, empty, accelerated, expanding universe. Each aeon is a universe in and of itself, starting with a Big Bang and ending in the exponential expansion, like our current dark energy-driven expansion.
So it feels like in that case that it's more like ripples in a pond.
It sounds like it, but never ending.
Right, never ending ripples in a pond.
Which would go against the theory that Covelli put out in white holes. Because remember, white holes are a consistent death of the universe.
Right.
The more white holes there are, the more heat loss there is, which eventually, at some point, so much is lost that the universe just... Remember? Do you remember? No.
Yes.
There was never any record that it ever existed.
No. He said that all disappears, but all of this information again is getting sucked down into the black holes.
Black hole, yeah.
And the one of the possible suppositions is the idea that on the other end, or at the bottom of the well, all that information is either spewed out or collected, and therefore the universe is then recreated in that space.
2716.
We had to pause for a second there. And I think what I was saying was that, all that information has to go somewhere. If the rule holds true that information doesn't get destroyed, then it has to go someplace. It has to exist somewhere, whether it's at the bottom of the well of the black hole,
or in another universe,
getting spit out by the white hole at the other at the opposite end.
And one universe dies.
Yes, and another one is
born.
Right. But this theory sounds like, never-ending ripples in a pond.
Well, that's what it seems to be, right?
Which makes me wonder if humanity lasted, let's say that we pushed 1 million years into the future, right?
Right.
Would then technology allow us, instead of traveling the ring of the universe that is ever getting larger and larger and larger within our own, could we instead intersect or go perpendicular and travel into the new universe that came after our own?
Well, that's what's fascinating, because I'd love to be able to understand the mathematical, aspects of this.
Would we become like the aliens of the outer dark? The legends of the dark things from the dark place before the beginning of the universe. Do we become that? Is that what Cthulhu is? Is Cthulhu a being of the previous universe?
I kind of like that.
Right?
Kind of like that. Do we become the things that are ancient and have never walked the earth?
Right.
And have never walked the world?
Because we haven't, according to them.
Was there a book in that?
There could be a book in that, yeah.
Or like a not necessarily a fiction book, but even just kind of like a research book.
Well, it's like at the end, close to the end of the series Babylon 5.
Yeah.
There is an episode throughout the series there are these creatures called the Vorlons. And nobody ever sees what the Vorlons look like because they're always in these encounter suits. And it turns out that the reason why nobody ever sees them is because they are beings that have transcended, they have gone post-physical. They're beings of energy, right? But they have seeded and programmed all the other younger races to view them as something divine.
Right.
So all the other races see them as gods or angels or something like that. And then it fast forwards far, far, far into the future. And it's kind of an episode where they're reviewing an archive of where things change for humanity. And at the end, you have this guy. He's standing there. He's kind of in a kind of uniform or an encounter or kind of a uniform kind of thing. And he closes out the file. And then he turns into energy, into a ball of energy, and he flies into an encounter suit that looks a little bit like the Vorlons, and it seals up, and he goes on his merry way. It's like the things
Did that happen? Right.
Right. So the idea is that the things that were legends to us hundreds of thousands of years ago are the things that we become.
Well, it's the same thing that even the which I find fascinating. I find these things with the ancient aliens fascinating.
Aliens.
People debunk that kind of stuff all the time, but the premise is that, well, let's think about it for a moment. Do we or did something represent those things that were godlike to those people at that time?
Right.
Do some of the drawings or the carvings or the things that are on caves and pyramids and whatnot depict something that happened or some type of interpretation that happened at that time?
Yeah.
And I think your theory is fascinating. I think your comment is fascinating.
Thank you.
With this infinite cycle, and here's the thing.
I'm a fourth dimensional creature with a fifth dimensional intellect. You're welcome.
Right. Thank you. Welcome to BBB. And I don't understand all this because I am not a physicist, right?
Yeah.
So as I go further into this research here, right, the theory of CCC relies on what's called conformal invariance.
Okay.
The physics of massless particles, like photons,
Yeah.
is unaffected by conformal transformations. So the infinite future of one aeon, one cycle,
Okay.
and the Big Bang of the next are equivalent.
So,
And I'd love to see some of the mathematical equations
does
that bear that out.
equivalent mean that one will never catch up to the other, or does it
I don't know.
mean that it's
Like-
just, again, rings in a pond going out and always adjacent to each other, but always separate?
What I always feel,
Maybe even unknowing.
I always feel like it's those paper ring chains that you make around Christmas time
Oh, yeah.
to count down, to Christmas, right?
Yes.
And
yes.
each ring you remove leads to the next ring,
Right.
but the next ring in and of itself is the same
Right.
and continuous because it's still in the, you know what I'm saying? It's still within the ring chain that you have created.
Now I think you're talking about quantum loop gravity.
Well, and so Covelli, right?
Yeah.
No, not Covelli.
Rovelli.
Carlo Rovelli.
Rovelli, yes.
His shtick,
Yeah.
is that the quantum state of a system must always be interpreted relative to another physical system.
Well, yeah, because everything is relationships. If there isn't a relationship, it has no meaning.
Right. And then we go back to that fascinating conversation we had about time is an illusion, because our perception of its flow doesn't correspond to the reality at all, right? Because that's just the way it goes. We're going to pause the show for a moment.
Sorry about that. As we're recording this, it's the night of a Bears game, Bears versus the Chiefs.
So we're getting regular reports.
We're getting regular updates from Steven's son, and even though they're kind of pulling a comeback kind of maneuver here towards the end of the game, for the record, we are anticipating disappointment, as Steven's son so wisely said, because it's a Chicago team. So. We'll see what happens. We'll let you know if our prognostications were correct. Actually, by the time you listen to this, you'll know if you actually care about football. You shall know.
If there's an infinite possibility of Bears wins throughout time. In multiple universes, there are probably multiple Super Bowl champions.
The Bears win again and again and again and again. It turns out that our universe is the outlier.
Correct. We got stuck in this one.
That's right.
We got stuck in this one with no wins ever.
So, it's interesting because I think you and I have talked about this a little bit before. That being the Gen Xers that we are, and I don't know how many other people have this viewpoint, but I have always felt like, since a kid, I've always felt like that our generation has been the generation of the decline.
Interesting.
Of things that are ending.
Yeah, we probably have talked about this a little bit, yeah.
Where not our peers, but our elders spend a lot of time talking about how things have been
used to be,
yep. or the way that society is supposed to function,
yep.
but doesn't necessarily function that way anymore.
Right.
And not just society, but also like resources, the planet, people's health, stuff like that. I remember that I had certain elders in my family who used to say things like, George Burns smokes a cigar every single day and he doesn't have lung cancer. It's like things just aren't built as well as they used to be, right?
We smoked in the car, we didn't wear seatbelts, and we sat in the middle between Grandma and Grandpa in the front seat.
That's right. And we did.
We did.
And somehow we lived, but it seems like it feels like as we go forward in time, those assumptions of of safety, we'll call it, those assumptions of consistency continue to break down more and more and more.
Right.
And so, when you presented this idea to me that we might be the echo of a universe that is already dead, the little voice in the back of my head went, aha, see,
Right.
see,
Right.
that's what you're feeling. That's what you've always been feeling. It's the realization deep in the back of your brain that none of this is real. It's just decay.
But what if we are decaying here? Like that's the fascinating question.
Yeah.
So the philosophical implication of the CCC theory is that there is no time boundary. The Big Bang theory estimates a beginning.
Yes.
The CCC theory, there's no time boundary. Every beginning is every end, is every beginning is every end, is every beginning is every end, right? Consistently.
But if we put that into linear terms, though, is every beginning happening at the same time?
Well, then the argument is that we're in an overlap period.
Because then we're talking about the many worlds theory.
And
right?
if we are but an echo, we are a damn fine echo. I might say so myself.
I'm hot.
And we're enjoying pickles and bourbon in this echo, and I'll live it.
I'm a catch. My mama says so.
I will live it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I will live it. Let's do the bourbon tasting. And then I want to come back. I found some of the critiques that are out there about this theory.
Okay.
And we can throw those out. Or we can save that for the episode.
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Maybe we'll save it for the episode because there is also some interesting comments about the CCC theory and the role of information that you were talking about. And
are the comments things like "Go home, Penrose, you're drunk,"
and the implications for quantum gravity and the universe's origin? So we can talk about a little bit of that.
Nice. Okay. So tonight's bourbon is Middle West Spirits Double Cask Collection Ported Pumpernickel Rye Whiskey. Rye whiskey aged in French tawny port casks, aged 5 years. Double barrel matured white American white oak casks and French tawny port casks, handcrafted in the heart of the Ohio River Valley. Batch number 4. 49.75% alcohol by volume, 99.5 proof. And on the back of the bottle, we have some writing. Middle West Spirits, Middle West. Ported Pumpernickel Rye is a full-bodied spirit, aged 5 years, first in medium-toasted American white oak barrels, then in sun-soaked French tawny port casks, where it develops soft notes of stone fruit, nutmeg, and spiced rye. When you raise a glass with friends, let them know it's proudly from the Middle West. Distilled from rye, corn, barley, and wheat. Originally distilled and bottled by Middle West Spirits, LLC, 1230 Cortland Avenue, Columbus, Ohio, 43201.
I love
That's
that.
really, their zip code is 43201? That's crazy.
Why?
Why? Oh, wait, no, it's 432... Yeah, okay, 01. 01. I thought it was 43210.
That would have been good too. That would have been funny.
I like that. That would have been funny.
I like that.
What's even funnier is that we both thought, yeah.
We stopped for a moment there, yeah?
Yeah.
This, we did a pre-sip, a pre-show sip.
We did.
Where's my glass?
I don't know.
It's over here.
Oh, it's over there. I see it. Kind of. I'm not
I first commented on the very deep amber color in this one.
Deep amber color.
Like it's got that Jurassic Park amber color to it. You know what I mean? Right?
Jurassic Park. It's like it's made of oil. It's got a viscosity to it.
But it's so good. And so we noticed, let's put this out there first. We noticed after a period of time of having the bourbon sit here from the tasting that a smoky aspect came out.
Yeah, it really opened up. Mm-hmm.
Right. It opened up into a smoky flavor, which is really, really nice. The pumpernickel.
I really get that toasted.
And I wonder if that's what that is. And you had mentioned baking spices early on, right? Yep. And that's pretty clear. And it's interesting because sometimes you get the baking spices, sometimes you get the mulling spices, sometimes you get the spicy spices in your bourbons, right? I mean, that's what you get,
right.
you know. And there were a couple of bourbons we've had recently where we
The spicy
felt
spices.
that was a more
kind of
of
like
a
the spicy
mulling
spice.
a mulling spice, like a like a glug, like a winter wine.
Right.
This one is, and I mentioned this too. I commented on it being kind of a wintry taste to it, but your comment back was a baking spices, which I thought was accurate on this one too.
Yeah.
So on the front end, we're getting that nutmeg. Strong in this one.
I think it's very strong in this one.
Strong in this one.
I am going to the Middle West website,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to see if I can find our bottle and see what they say about the tasting notes.
Yes.
Let's see. Cask strength, dark pumpernickel rye. But it looks different. The bottle looks different. Let me keep going. Bottle still looks different. Here we go. Ported pumpernickel rye.
Yep.
Give me the details, buddy. All right, here we go. This full-bodied spirit is aged 5 years, first in American white oak barrels, then is finished in tawny port casks.
Mm-hmm.
Flavor profiles. It's very short. Flavor profiles, hints of vanilla, nutmeg, and cinnamon, notes of stone fruit, nutmeg, and spiced rye. And that's really all that it says.
So we're getting the strong nutmeg. I'm getting more than just the spiced rye. I'm getting those cinnamon.
Yeah, I'm definitely getting cinnamon.
I'm getting cinnamon.
The nutmeg is the nutmeg is forward. The nutmeg is up front.
Little walnut for me.
Yeah, I can get that.
Or a shaved nut.
I can get behind that.
Some sort.
Right. And a dark toast.
A dark toast.
Right.
Which speaks to the amber color.
Right. And
like this is one of the darker ones that we've had recently.
But I think that's more about the this has only got a medium char.
Yeah.
A medium toast on it.
Yeah.
In the American white oak barrel.
Yeah.
So I think that darkness that we're getting is coming from the tawny port that is mixing with the tannins, from the toasted American oak.
Yeah.
To me, rye is always spicy, so I'm never quite sure what people talk about when they say spiced rye, and I've seen it a few different places. Does it mean that it's extra spicy?
Well, sometimes I think that's
is it a more adult rye? Extra spicy.
It's a saucy rye.
Saucy rye. Never gonna let you go. I'm gonna hold you in my arms forever. Middle West spirits.
I think sometimes I and no disrespect to bourbon tasters around the world. I think sometimes spicy is used as a catch-all.
It could be. It could be when you're quite not.
And we are
not sure.
We are still very much,
we're amateurs.
Amateur connoisseurs.
We're
right?
amateurs,
right? I mean, I think about, and we've talked about this before. I think about our 5-year journey.
Yeah.
On this podcast, and we've learned a lot about bourbon.
Yeah.
But we're not distillers.
No.
We are not.
And we're not chemists.
We're not chemists.
Right? A lot of the distilleries actually employ chemists.
Correct. We're not working in the whole world of mixology and blending and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
But, however, I do think that our palate has become refined.
Yeah.
In a way that 5 years of drinking bourbon allows us to do.
Well, so I was
Which
at
is nice.
today. I bought this today at Vinny's Beverage Depot.
Yeah.
In our local area, and when I was there, I actually got an opportunity to chat with the purchasing manager, because he was the one who
recommended this one for you.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and he was the one who asked me, "Do you need any help, sir?"
Yes.
And so I told him, who I was and what we do, and we've been doing this for 5 years, and I said, we're starting to have issues of trying to find something that is either a label that we've never tried or a unique expression of a label that we have never tried before.
Right.
And so he immediately said, "Have you ever tried Middle West?"
Right.
Yeah, we've tried the standard bourbon that they've got.
Yeah.
And he said, "Well, let me show you some things." And he had 3 different ones, and this was one of them. And he started off by saying Middle West has a series of expressions that are double matured.
Yeah.
And I said to him, I said, that seems to be a kind of a trend in the last couple of years, wouldn't you say? And he goes, it is, but the whole thing about that is that you have to start off with a good base bourbon.
Yeah.
It has to be a good base product in order to make this experimentation of the double barrel, the double casked maturation process to actually work. And he said, so when I saw that these were available, I got a bottle of the baseline Middle West and tried that first to see, how that would taste. And I felt like that was going to be a good foundation for the things that they would do.
Right.
And I can't say that it's wrong. This is good.
This is really good.
This is really good.
This is really good.
Going back to what you were saying before, the flavor, as you let it sit in the glass, the flavor really starts to open up. And nothing is replaced, nothing disappears, but that smoke really opens up, right? And so it's like it just fills my nose when I take a sip. But I get all the other stuff too, the nutmeg.
I can guarantee you that I'm going to prefer it like this rather than if we put ice in it.
I guarantee it too. Yeah, I don't think we have to put ice in it.
No, I think this is one of the ones we've had a couple like this, in the past few years.
Yeah, this is so good by itself.
And it comes in a nice little outer shell.
Yeah, it has a cylinder case.
Cylinder case. Yeah,
it's a taller bottle.
Yeah. Than
what you normally see from Middle West.
Yeah.
Middle West usually likes the more squat bottles. But I think because this is a special edition that they put it into a taller bottle and then put that bottle into the
barley, wheat,
into the sleeve. I get the toast, I get the smoke, I get the baking spice with the cinnamon and the nutmeg forward, but there's more underneath that.
Yeah,
I think I think you had mentioned allspice.
Yep.
Yep. Almost like it's almost like a Chinese 5-spice, except I don't taste the anise.
Right. Right. That's not there for me.
No, but there's so many different things going on at the same time, and it's not a high. It's 99.5, so it's above that 85 proof level, so the burn gets a little bit stronger. But
it's not prohibitive.
No, the flavor really comes through.
Yeah.
It's not like you're tasting burn and mistaking it for spice.
Correct.
You're really tasting spice.
Not sacrificed for.
Not at all. Not at all.
Yeah.
So you still get a nice proof on it, but you still get all of that flavor, and it lingers. The finish lingers on your tongue and in your throat. And I taste, it's on the back end. It's in the finish that I kind of taste. Gosh, what? It's almost like toast with jam. Very, very light, very light. It's like the way my grandmother used to do it because she thought that it was still, we were still rationing everything.
Like a marmalade.
Right. And you spread that marmalade like really thin across the bread, so it's barely even there, right? Yeah. And the way that she used to toast bread is that you toast it until it's like medium dark, where it's on the verge of turning black, but not quite.
Right.
And then she'd scrape it off a little bit, and then she'd scrape that marmalade across it. So you've got a little bit of that
small
fruit.
Hint.
Yeah.
The fruit itself.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a hint of fruit mingling with the toast and the smoke. And that's on the back end. That's the finish. That's the finish. On the front end, when you first take a sip, it's sweet.
I would agree. There's even a vanilla on the front.
Yeah, absolutely. It's sweet. And then you take a sip and you take a breath, and then your sinuses are filled with smoke, and then you get the finish on the back end with the toast and the marmalade, right?
Marmalade, yep, with the nutmeg in between.
Yeah. And the nutmeg the baking spice is really strong on the nose.
It's very strong.
Very strong on the nose.
Strong. And I enjoy that. I think that gives an excellent flavor.
That's so good. That's so good. Here I go, talking like I actually know what I'm talking about.
We do know what we're talking about. We are good amateurs on this.
I think we're pretty good amateurs.
We have tried over 100 bourbons over the past 5 years.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive.
That was pretty impressive. Although I was at Binny's today talking to a couple of guys who were in that section with me where I was looking at this, and they're talking about their bourbon collection. And one guy was like, yeah, I'm trying to figure out what I want to add to my collection. I got 157 bottles at home right now. And I almost went like, well, between my buddy and I, we've got like 110 because we apparently don't make as much money as you do.
No, we want to count. We want to count. I mean, because if we count all the empties,
well, true, right?
We are either in the 150 or more,
right? Well, and I almost
existing bottles.
This bottle was almost a Yellowstone because Yellowstone has a new toasted,
right?
And you know that I like Yellowstone. We haven't done Yellowstone in a long time. Maybe that should be for the Oopsisode.
That's fine.
Maybe Yellowstone should be the Oopsisode.
Yeah, Yellowstone.
And I really, from season 1, I really liked Yellowstone. I'm interested to see if I still like it 5 years later.
Yeah.
But the Yellowstone toasted, that looked very interesting to me. I mean, we had the Basil Hayden toasted. We had a lot of different toasted.
We haven't had the Yellowstone toasted.
We haven't had Yellowstone toasted. No. No. And I almost bought a bottle of Basil Hayden Dark Rye because we love it so much and we don't have the bottle anymore.
Right.
But I wanted to try something new. And
this was good.
This has been really good.
How are we doing on time here now?
We're at 40.
Right.
So we've been talking like 15 minutes about this.
It's a good theme show.
Yeah, good theme show.
So,
oh my gosh.
Let's go back here.
Like you said, if this bottle and spending time with you and recording our ramblings about the things that we don't know about astrophysics.
If this is an echo?
If this is an echo, I'll take it.
Me too.
Yeah.
I'll gladly live in an echo.
Mm-hmm.
For as long as the echo will have me.
Yep. My wife would say that I already live in an echo because that's why I never hear the things that she's saying.
We talked a little bit about this, the idea that it's eternal time without a beginning.
Yeah.
But then it also raises deep questions about entropy, information conservation, and time.
Interesting. Now, is this the rebuttals that you're about to jump into?
Yeah, these are some of the implications themselves.
I would say that we save that. We could even end this early and then have a longer oops. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we had to take a little break because it turns out that tonight is a night for miracles. Apparently, physics is breaking down. Reality is falling apart because the Bears have just beat the Chiefs.
Season.
I think dogs are learning to fly. I think pigs have wings.
That's it.
The Bears won.
Did they get the field goal? Or the extra point? 29-27?
That's it.
Oh my gosh!
That's amazing.
That's insane.
Ben Johnson's a monster. These guys are going to be so good. I cannot wait.
Oh my gosh. Wow. That's it. This is the Twilight Zone.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. I'm going to go look for Rod Serling. It's going to be, it's like, imagine, if you will, a reality.
He's in my backyard. He's in my backyard, Jeff.
That allows the Bears to actually win a game against a really good team.
The best moment is when he was smoking a cigarette.
Oh, I loved it when he was smoking a cigarette.
It didn't always happen.
No. But I loved it when he was, like, the black and white ones.
Oh, yeah.
Where he's standing there, and he's got the Marlboro in his mouth, and he's smoking that cigarette. Right? Yes! The smoke is pulling up from it's just time. Yes!
Those are good.
I would not want to live in an echo of a universe that did not have Rod Serling.
No, or Alfred Hitchcock.
Right? Exactly.
Exactly. Good.
Time.
Well, maybe we wrap this up and then we go into some of the critiques and stuff.
Yeah, I think so.
In the actual Oopsisode.
I think that's a good idea.
So, final thoughts. I enjoyed doing this as the theme show, because it was something that kind of came just across our social media feed. And we've been talking a little bit about time recently. We've been talking about fantasy. been talking about ways in which the universe moves and behaves.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this was a nice theme show. And my hip hurts. And so hopefully it doesn't hurt on the next.
That's because time is not what we think it is.
No.
It turns out, Stephen, that you're actually ancient like Cthulhu.
I am ancient.
You're an echo of a previous universe.
I do very
You
much.
are the legends that we fear.
I do very much like that that idea. I kind of want to explore that a little bit, but I'm not sure how.
Right?
Yeah.
This is the kind of twisted stuff that my brain comes up with.
Well, yeah, it's an excellent point.
We're afraid of Cthulhu, but maybe we are Cthulhu.
Maybe we are.
To somebody else. You know, it's kind of like the concept, you know, that maybe the reason why aliens have never come to Earth is because we are a hellscape.
Right.
We are beings we are sentient beings who are literally made of fire.
Right.
That everything on this planet lives through combustion.
Right.
Who wants to F with that?
People of all ages and types, wherever you are listening to us on your podcasts. This has been another wonderful evening with us. Thank you for joining us.
Amazon Music and Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Upcast, Downcast, Sidecast,
Lowcast,
MyCast, NoCast,
Outcast,
Outcast,
Lakecast,
Cast,
Bonecast.
Bonecast.
We got everything.
That's a good one. I don't think we've said that one.
No, probably not. We are appreciative of your support. Make sure you head on over and leave us some stars, leave us some reviews, help us continue to climb the ladder of success here with Beards, Books, and Bourbon.
That's right.
This was an excellent pour tonight for our bourbon. We really enjoyed this. Check us out on wherever you download your podcast. Follow us on all our social media: TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, X, formerly known as Twitter, all that good stuff.
All that good stuff.
We love being with you. Hopefully you enjoy listening to what we're reading, what we're drinking, and
why it brings us joy.
And remember, everybody, no matter whether you're at the beginning of the universe or the end of the universe,
or the echo of a universe,
somewhere, if you're not listening to Beers, Books, and Bourbon,
you're still in any universe doing it wrong.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.